So this whole adventure with St. Jude started because I met a lady who had a kid who was a patient at St. Jude. I married her. I adopted him, Matt. He was 5 years old when I met him in 1978. Just a good kid. He had acute lymphocytic leukemia, and I think back in 1976, I looked this up, it was around 6%, maybe 8% survival rate with ALL. And so the relapse came. They found some more leukemia cells in his testes, and so we went through a whole nother batch of radiation. We went through a whole nother chemotherapy session. It was 1992. We were down there in May, and we got the news that Matt was going to be fine. Because of his radiation, they told us not to come back, except maybe, if they were going to do a life study on him, they would have him come back and they would do a life study and see how he's doing. So in 1982, my brother Bob came to me with this newspaper advertisement and said, look at this. These guys want to have you raise $500 and help them run from Memphis to Peoria to raise money for St. Jude. I'm not running. As I, took another puff on my cigarette, I said, I'm not running. He goes, oh, I don't need you to do the running. He says, I'll do the running. I just need you to help raise the money. And I said, okay, we can do that. In 1984, I was just to that point where I felt like I needed to be doing more than helping Bob raise money. So I asked if I could go on the run, and Gene Pratt and Mike McCoy says, are you gonna run? And I said, no, maybe I can just drive a motorhome to help out. And I don't know if driving the motorhome without being a runner was really much help, but I told him that there was a better way to get to Memphis, a quicker way to get to Memphis than I think it was 12 or 13 hours that it took us to get down there. They said, fine, why don't you just shut up about it and go with us next year and we'll chart the route. And I said, okay. So 1985 was the first time I went. I said, there's got to be something else I can help you guys with. And so the reconnaissance trip was only like 3 weeks before the run. We had, I want to say we had a grand total of 8 motorhomes that had to go back to Chicago. And McCoy says, yeah, there is something you can do. Find some people to drive these motorhomes back to where we rent them. I said, okay. And then something came up, and I was asked if I could go along as a cook. So I said, yeah, I can commit to that. For how long? And I think the commitment, I think the signature on the contract, quote unquote, there isn't one, but is for 10 years. But this will be my 19th year this year as a chef. The runners make the event. They raise the money and they do the running, and we just make sure that the runners get fed and we try and keep them happy. What do we serve them? We serve them chicken, hamburgers, French fries. We have salads for people. We have veggie burgers on burger night. We have spaghetti with garlic bread and chicken breast. And I think on the 25th anniversary of the run is when we introduced steak on Wednesday night. There's so many people that work on this project behind the scenes that nobody knows about. Nobody gives them any attention, and they don't need it. I didn't care if people knew I did the reconnaissance trip. That didn't matter. I was helping. It was 1992. He was going to be 20 in August. His birthday's in August, and he was killed in a car accident. And we haven't had him since, but the people at St. Jude, Matt's name is on the wall at the St. Jude Clinic because of the love that they had for that guy. And there's other stories of other kids who have had it worse than Matt. There's stories of other kids who maybe have had it better than Matt, but none of them had to come up, the families didn't have to fork over money to figure out how they're going to pay for getting their child there, for going through the treatments, for doing any of those things. And it's because of an event like the Memphis Peoria Run. it's because of the event like the telethon. I don't know everybody's situation, but I would sure hope that everybody could find it in their hearts to give what they can. So whether you're donating online or donating over the phone, a donation helps. It helps tremendously, and it doesn't matter if it's $5 or $5,000. It helps. So it matters a lot.